Here are the stories that we're tracking for you today. From the bayous of the Deep South to the city streets of the Northeast, communities still reeling in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. This is a storm that swept across more than 1,000 miles of this country and so far has killed over 6 people across 8 states. In Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, and New Jersey, at least 8 tornadoes destroyed many homes and buildings. In New York, officials rescued more than 500 people from flooded buildings, streets, and even subway stations. Much of Louisiana, where Ida first hit several days ago, still remains without power. Fuel shortages also having a major impact on recovery efforts across the state as people suffer in the heat. On Friday, President Biden visited Louisiana to survey the damage.
Things have changed so drastically in terms of the environment. We've already crossed certain thresholds. We can't build back a road, a highway, a bridge, or anything to what it was before. I mean, you've got to build back to what it is now, what's needed now.
As we head into the fall, many schools are now reopening for in-person learning despite the dangers of the contagious new COVID strains. In the past week, more than 200,000 kids have tested positive for COVID, 5 times the number from the month before, according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. In Pennsylvania, where school is just starting, the Secretary of Health says coronavirus cases in children over the past 6 weeks are up 300%. The number of children in the hospital is also reaching record highs, with more kids being admitted to hospitals for the virus this month in the U.S. than any other time in the last year. Though many kids are still ineligible for vaccines, there's new data showing vaccinating adults can actually help kids.
In August 2021, the rate of hospitalization for children was nearly 4 times higher in states with the lowest overall vaccination coverage.
Red states that have passed severe abortion restrictions only to see them blocked time and time again by the federal courts now have a new template thanks to the Supreme Court. On Thursday, Republican lawmakers in at least half a dozen states said they plan to introduce bills using Texas's strict fetal heartbeat abortion ban as a model after the nation's highest court allowed the law to stand. In Mississippi, Republican State Senator Chris McDaniel said he would, quote, absolutely consider filing legislation to match the Texas law. Additionally, abortion opponents and conservative lawmakers in at least 5 other GOP-controlled states, Arkansas, Florida, Indiana, North Dakota, and South Dakota, said they were considering pushing bills similar to the Texas law and its citizen enforcement provision, which is effectively abortion bounty hunting. The August jobs report came out Friday.
And this was a big
disappointment. Delta drag.
U.S. hiring slowed to 235,000 jobs in August after 2 strong months of growth. That is a big miss. The consensus among most economists was that we'd see around 700,000 new hires.
Even the whisper numbers of a disappointment were 400 or 500,000. So this is a disappointment, and it shows COVID and childcare concerns are still holding back hiring here.
The August numbers add serious concerns now as we enter the fall, with the Delta variant still surging. NFL players can wear social justice messages on their helmets again this season. The 6 messages players can choose from as part of the Helmet Decal program are End Racism, Stop Hate, It Takes All of Us, Black Lives Matter, Inspire Change, and Say Their Stories. The It Takes All of Us and End Racism messages will also be stenciled in end zones for the 2nd straight year as part of the NFL's Inspire Change platform. For all its social justice efforts, after years fumbling the ball on Colin Kaepernick, the NFL still has a massive racial hiring problem. While nearly 70% of NFL players are black, there are still only 3 black head coaches out of 32 teams in the league.